we are headed out to a turtle festival on the Osa Peninsula in Costa Rica.
Yes!
My good friend Laura Exley is going to tell us a little bit about the sea turtle conservation work that she is doing here, and we'll see some baby sea turtles. How exciting is that going to be? Now, I love turtles, as you guys know. When it comes to sea turtles, I've never interacted with baby sea turtles before. So we're taking a quick pit stop to show you guys what a collapsed bridge looks like. About a week and a half ago, I was told that a dump truck, similar to the one that we just passed, they're doing road work, and they actually destroyed a bridge in the process. So this here used to be a bridge you could drive over, and obviously can still support the weight of a human or a motorcycle. But as you can see, as we're sloping down here in the middle, it is 100% collapsed. Oh, look, here's a car going across it. There you have it. See, so that little car can go across. Made it. Ooh, that doesn't sound stable. The rainforest in this area is just so beautiful. I mean, you feel like you are in a lost world. Okay, we have just arrived at the Turtle Festival.
Oh,
look at this guy!
Hey! Welcome to this part of the Osa Peninsula. This is an incredible moment because we are sharing with an entire community. So we are celebrating conservation. We need to protect our oceans, and that is what we are doing right over here. So welcome!
Yes!
Awesome!
It's a hot one. We are walking down to the beach, getting ready for the release of the baby turtles. The tidal height is almost right. Whoa, cool. This is the hatchery. What do you think, Mario?
So, there's likely eggs incubating and or some that have already hatched out. Pretty cool. So what they do is they collect a certain percentage of eggs throughout this entire coast to incubate them here, protect them from predation, actually even provide shelter because the temperatures are increasing, fluctuating too much, and you're getting a skewed sex ratio. So by doing this, you actually could control the temperatures and ensure that these are going to survive.
So this structure is what COPROT, Laura's organization, has built, and it's where they jumpstart baby sea turtles. All built naturally from items here on the coast of the peninsula. All right, so they're building a perimeter right here so that people can watch from this side, and all the turtles will be released into the middle and then out towards the water.
So they've just finished these excavations here.
So where are all the babies then?
Well, so the hatchlings are normally hatching overnight. So in general, what we're doing here is we are excavating nests that have already hatched, and we can see what's left. And then we can get an idea of the health of the nest, how many hatchlings have hatched. If anything hasn't hatched, we then look and see what might have caused that, if there's any kind of development. Maybe there's some kind of bacterial infection or micropredation or something like that. So these nests have hatched pretty well. So we just have a few little babies here. That nest hatched really well also, and then they're just doing this last one here to see if there's any more for us to release. It never gets old. It never gets old. I mean, I must have seen probably millions of hatchlings over the past sort of 6 to 7 years, and it never gets old. They're coming out.
Yeah, I'm so proud for you.
It's just so great to see people, how they connect with the whole process as well. There's something really powerful about a sea turtle reaching the ocean and then going out on this big adventure. You know, it really kind of connects people with nature, and it kind of gives them that initiative to take it on a little further once they get home, and they tell their friends about it, and they think a little bit more about things like plastic and all of the things that could be facing marine life. So it's a really great sort of accessible start point for people to kind of connect with nature and make those changes in their lives. So super proud to provide that experience.
Always melts my heart. This is so special. How you can enjoy this so much? This is why we should care our oceans. More than ever, we need to protect our oceans. And Costa Rica is vital on this too. So the biodiversity that inhabit our oceans is amazing, and this is just a small fraction of how special it is.
So how proud is this moment for you to see all these turtles returning to the ocean?
It's really, really amazing to see them. But I think the thing that's more amazing is to see how many people have come to see the turtles get down to the ocean, because we're so far out in the middle of nowhere that it really takes a lot to get the community down here, to get people involved. And it's one of the most incredible experiences for conservation, for people to come and witness this beautiful location with these beautiful turtles.
And the future's right there.
And the future's right there. Yeah, it's really been an incredible day. It's so wonderful to have everybody's support.
Amazing. What an amazing job Laura is doing here on the Osa Peninsula. Several hundred sea turtles just today went back into the ocean. This Jumpstart project is just unbelievable. Make sure to check out Laura's interview on our upcoming episode of Global Guardians with Mario. That is out right now on the Global Guardians channel. This has been amazing. Little baby turtles back into the ocean. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
Now, unfortunately, nature, not all these hatchlings will survive to adulthood. So just give us an example of once the female lays 80 or so eggs, and once they hatch out, what are some of the statistics of survival rates?
Yeah, I mean, we get all across the spectrum. So we have some nests that hatch perfectly, and pretty much every egg produces a hatchling, which is obviously the best case scenario. And then we also get situations where none will hatch, and pretty much everything in between. Our general success rate for our beaches is around 85%. So we could get around 60 hatchlings is pretty normal for an olive ridley species. Generally a little bit higher for the green turtles. We might get 80 or 90%. But some of the reasons that they might not hatch completely at the moment, its temperature is a big one. I mean, the sea turtle nest is incredible in its design. It's probably about, what is that, like 30 centimeters or so from the top of the eggs to the bottom of the eggs. And then you have this little neck of sand that kind of protects it from that extra hot part at the top. And then the design gives it almost should be a perfect gradient between male and female, because it's a sex determination for whether they're male or female. So it's cool guys and hot girls is what I used to remember it. But over time, we're definitely seeing this bias now towards female production as the temperatures are getting higher, seasons are changing slightly. So that tends to be our biggest cause of losses, on top of predation. And then other things like bacterial and fungal infections are very normal, but they don't happen all the time, but they can cause a lot of damage in the nest.
Gotcha. And that's interesting to note that there are certain reptile species that have that sex determination based on temperature. There's a certain point in incubation that the temperature will trigger a hormone that will create male or female. In alligators, it's opposite with the temperature aspect. But in terms of a global threat to sea turtles and some of these reptiles will be climate change, right? Fluctuations in seasonality, fluctuations in temperature. So yeah, if you have an all male bias potentially in a species, or vice versa female, right? That could be detrimental to populations in the long run.
Yeah, and we've already started to see that in leatherback nesting beaches, for example, in the Caribbean. They did a study not too long ago where they were basically seeing 100% female production on wild nests on the beach. So that's why also that's another positive of using a hatchery, is you have the capacity to manipulate the temperature, and you can irrigate with fresh water and different things like that to kind of create a little bit more of an ideal environment for incubation. So we have our hatchery completely covered now, and you'll find in general in Costa Rica that most hatcheries will be completely covered, because just out there on the beach, natural temperatures are just getting way too high to get that nice balance between the sexes that you're being produced on the beach.
What advice do you have for young conservationists? Someone that is watching this and says, I want to be a sea turtle lady. Not so simple question, but
right.
Have at it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, just because we get a lot of our volunteers and research assistants that always say, like, I'd just love to do what you do. Like, how can I do it? What's the secret? Because I can see that it's a very competitive industry, and there's lots of young people that are really looking to move into conservation and kind of make it their primary career and their source of income and build their life around it. And there's a lot of challenges around actually getting to that point. But I definitely think the most important thing is, I mean, there's just so many things to do in conservation. This earth needs so many people to be able to sort of implement all of these different conservation dreams and ideals that we have. So there's always something to do, and it's just a case of finding out what that is, finding a niche, finding a little space that you can see that there's a need for some kind of work that you're interested in doing, and then focus your efforts toward building the skills to kind of fulfill that role. I mean, I was working with primates. I'd never had any experience with sea turtles before, and I came to the Osa Peninsula. There's this huge nesting beach with all of these incredible sea turtles. There's a community there that was looking for alternative employment, and it was just really a case of putting those dots together and making something that was needed at that moment. I see so much now, like repetitive projects that are doing the same thing that someone else is doing in the same area. They don't communicate, they don't share resources, they don't collaborate, and really it doesn't work for anybody, because you don't want to be competing over trying to do something like this.
Yeah.
And there's enough to do for everybody, for sure.